And it's time now for a look at what's making the French press this Friday in our press review with Elena Casas, and she joins me now. Hello, Elena.
Hello again, Lorna.
Right, so what's hitting the front pages this Friday?
Nuclear energy, yes or no? That's what Libération is asking its readers today. Now, this is becoming a huge issue in France, where about 80% of electricity is still brought from nuclear, and it's becoming very politically controversial. Now, yesterday, France's state electricity company, EDF, was fined €1.5 million for spying on Greenpeace activists who were protesting against its nuclear plants, and the issue is also it's getting its way into the election campaign, because the socialist candidate François Hollande is trying to hammer out an electoral pact with the Green Party to try and get them to get their supporters to vote for him, and they say that that pact just can't happen unless he agrees to scrap nuclear energy. Now, Libération reports in the paper that that stumbling block seems to be hard to get over for both sides, and at the same time the EDF CEO, Henri Prollio, has gone on a massive PR offensive, basically threatening Hollande with the disaster that could occur to the French economy if he were to agree to scrap nuclear energy. He's told papers that 1 million jobs would be lost, and it could cost France €400 billion to pull out of nuclear. So Libération says that's nothing short of blackmail.
Indeed, and pretty awkward position for François Hollande politically now as well.
Yes, that's what Le Figaro focuses on. The Greens put Hollande to the test. That's their headline there on this front page. Now, they say Hollande is in a really awkward political position because he's got 5 other candidates on the left who are all kind of competing to try and get hold of his voters. And so he's got to come to an agreement with the Greens. But the Greens party secretary, Cécile Duflot, has apparently threatened him, saying if he doesn't agree to pull back from nuclear, there can be no agreement.
Okay, well, let's move on now to some economic news, because we mentioned in the news bulletin an accidental downgrading of French debt yesterday by Standard & Poor's. That was, of course, changed. They've still got a AAA rating, but what did the papers make of what happened?
Well, was that a big mistake, or was it a premonition? And that's what Le Parisien is asking its readers. They say, while the mistake that was made last night, Standard & Poor's sending out that message, which made it look like they might be going to downgrade France, in the end has probably been more embarrassing for the ratings agency than it has been for the country. They say the speed at which the Finance Minister, François Bayrou, rushed to defend France's austerity measures after that news and call for an inquiry into the mistake made by Standard & Poor's just shows how worried the French government are that this could actually happen. They are on the point of panic, the paper says, and nothing that's going to change. They're going to be as worried as that until they change their policy, because their prediction for France's growth this year is still twice as much as the EU's. So they're still going to keep coming under pressure to announce more austerity measures.
Okay, well, moving on again, Dominique Strauss-Kahn certainly hit the front pages a few months ago, and he's back once again now.
We just can't get rid of him, can we? Yep, here he is on the front page of Le Parisien. Now, this is the story of Dominique Strauss-Kahn, the prostitution ring, the CEO and the police commissioner. CEO and the police commissioner are being investigated by police for running a prostitution ring, and they are accused of using public funds to send prostitutes to Washington to meet the then IMF boss about 6 months ago. The net is tightening around Dominique Strauss-Kahn, reports the Parisian. That's because the police have got hold of a series of text messages that he sent to that CEO, saying things like, "Are you bringing any girlfriends with you on your business trip to Washington?" So
scandalous stuff.
It is a little. He could face charges for complicity and corruption, the paper says.
So he's definitely not off the hook yet. A bit of economic news as well in Le Parisien today.
Yes, bargain hunt. Everything's set to go. Local authorities, according to Le Parisien, they say they're selling off all kinds of assets to try and fill up France's local authorities' empty coffers. The mayor of Narbonne has already made €65,000 selling off things like fire trucks and police cars. In one municipality near Paris, they've sold the old courthouse to a Brit as a second home. And if you're in the market, Lorna, you can pick up just about anything from local authorities. You can get a 19th century chateau in the Auvergne for €645,000, down to an Olivetti typewriter for just £5. And there's a nice cartoon in the paper as well there, which shows people gathering at a war memorial, because of course today is the 11th of November, and the mayor saying, "Hurry up, we need to finish this ceremony, we've sold the memorial."
That's amazing stuff. I love that €5 typewriter. I'm sure that will make all the difference as well to the mayor of Mayenne or wherever it is they're selling it. Are you going to pick
something up? It just shows you how desperately they need those every centime, those local authorities now, Lorna.
Are you in the market?
For the typewriter? Yeah. Well, it's an Olivetti one. They're a classic. So, yeah, €5, why not?
Who knows? Well, thanks very much indeed, Elena, for that whiz through today's French newspapers.